Hey YouTube, what's going on? My name's Dane. Today I will be doing a $30 budget deck profile, the third one on the channel, of the Darkest Diablos or Lair of Darkness structure deck. This is a very tribute-based structure deck, so if you like tribute decks, I'm personally not a big fan of it, so I'm kind of biased towards other ones, but this is still a really good deck, very, very powerful, and we will get right into the deck profile with that. So, starting off, you want to play 3 copies of the boss monster, Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair. His effect reads, your opponent cannot tribute this face-up card while on the field and cannot target it with card effects. You can only use each of these effects of Darkest Diablos, Lord of the Lair once per turn. If a dark monster you control is tributed, except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your graveyard, if it was there when you tributed, or hand, even if not. So, basically what this is saying is if this card is in your graveyard whenever you tribute a monster, so if you have Lair of Darkness on the field, and you tribute an opponent's monster, he summons from your graveyard. And also, if you just tribute him that turn, so say you tribute a monster that turn, and then you take his searcher, you search him out, and he just summons to the field because you tributed that turn with that even if not stipulation. That's what that means. His second effect reads, you can tribute one dark monster that your opponent places one card from their hand on either the top or bottom of their deck. So this is a nice way to get an opponent's monster off the field because you can just tribute their own monster, and then you take that monster and it goes to the graveyard. You choose one card from their hand, or they choose one card from their hand, and put it on the top or bottom of the deck. So it's a nice -1 for your opponent. It's a nice -1 off their field as well. I love this boss monster. He's amazing. Next, you're going to play 3 Lilith, Lady of Lament. That's just a mouthful. If this card was normal summoned, its original attack becomes 1,000, which is, I guess, fairly decent because it has 2,000. Quick effect, that's what you really need to pay attention to, the fact that this is a quick effect. You contribute 1 dark monster, reveal 3 normal traps from your deck. Your opponent randomly chooses one for you to set on your field and shuffles the rest back into your deck. You can only use this effect of Lilith, Lady of Lament once per turn. So this is a quick effect, which means you can activate this on your opponent's turn. So you choose Lament and you go through your deck. You get out 3 normal traps, which are all you're going to play in this. You get out 3 normal traps, and your opponent picks one for you to set on your side of the field. I only have 1 trap that I play 3 of in this deck, so if you really need that trap, then yeah, you have a 100% chance of getting it. But really, your opponent's picking for you, which I don't like, but you are getting a good trap out on the field, which is always a good thing. I really love this card, except for the 1,000 decrease. That actually hits pretty hard in game. Next, you're going to have Arima, the Wicked Warden. It reads, you can discard this card, add 1 Lair of Darkness from your deck to your hand, so it searches the field spell that this deck is basically based off of. This deck doesn't come with Terraforming, but Terraforming is just an easy card to get, easy card to put in it. So if you really wanted to build this deck, then that's already 9 copies of Lair of Darkness, 3 Lair of Darkness, 3 Arima, and 3 Terraforming. Terraforming doesn't come in this, though. You can tribute 1 dark monster, draw 1 card, or if you tribute a dark monster other than this card to activate this effect, you can target 1 dark monster with 2,000 or more defense from your deck to your hand. Instead, you can only use this effect of Arima the Wicked Warden once per turn. So this searches Lair of Darkness, if you don't discard him, or no, Lair of Darkness, you discard 1 card, and then if you discard him, you just draw 1 card. If you discard another, or if you tribute one other card besides him, searches your boss monster. So he can either give you a +1, he will search your field spell, and he will search your boss monster. Amazing card, and it looks pretty sick as well. Next, you're going to play 3 copies of Curry Bandit. During the end phase, if this card was normal summon this turn, you can tribute this card, excavate the top 5 cards of your deck. You can add 1 excavated spell trap to your hand. Also send the remaining cards to the graveyard. So this is a bit of a minus. So some people think it's a minus. It's a big plus for me, because if you draw into that boss monster is going straight to the graveyard. Also, with something like Stygian Street Patrol, that's going straight to the graveyard, where you can just use its effect. Plus, you're getting one of those traps in your hand, you're getting one of those spells in your hand. So, it's a really nice trade-off in my opinion, since most of the stuff in this deck doesn't mind being in the graveyard anyway. Next, you're going to play 2 Stygian Street Patrol. I do only play 2 of this card. If this card destroys a monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, afflict damage to your opponent equal to the original level of that monster in the graveyard times 100. You can banish this card from your graveyard, special summon 1 feed monster with 2,000 or less attack from your hand. So, the only thing I don't like about this is it does have to be from your hand. But, you're sitting there with Vanity's Fiend, you're sitting there with just like a tributable card, or you're sitting there with any card. It's good to just get anything out on the field. Plus, it just sits in your graveyard. It's a graveyard effect, so you wait until you draw something, then you activate that effect. It's just a good card to have. Next, you're going to play 2 Duke Shade of Sinister... Duke Shade, the Sinister Shadow Lord. Gosh, why do there have to be so many onomatopoeias, making me look dumb in my own deck profile? You can tribute any number of dark monsters. Special summon this from your hand. If you do, it gains 500 attack. So this monster can get pretty big if you use enough. For each monster you tributed... 500 attack for each monster you tributed. If this card is normal special summoned, you can target 1 level 5 or higher monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. So you can add your boss monster back to your hand. I think you can add stuff like Vanity's Fiend and Legendary Mazu Garzet, Caesius back to your hand. Really, really nice effect there. You can only use this effect of his name. I don't want to say it because I'm going to mess it up again. Once per turn, you can only special summon monsters. Basically, that next part is saying you can only special summon dark monsters whenever you use his effect, which doesn't really matter because you're only playing dark monsters in this deck anyway. So, really like this effect. It just lets you get stuff back from your graveyard. He can get big. It's just a really nice card to have. Next, you're going to play Vanity's Fiend. I love this card. So many people would disagree with me. It's a little hard to get out, but the reason I love this card cannot be special summoned. Neither player can special summon monsters. Period. The end. If you are playing against a combo-centric needs to special summon deck, which most of my personal friends play, that's why I probably like this card so much, it shuts them down. It just shuts them down. Unless they can negate a monster effect, it shuts them down. And it's the greatest thing ever to see the look on their face after you tell them, no, you can't do that, because they can't special summon anything out. So they'll lay down a weak monster that searches something, and they can't special summon that. It's the nicest thing ever. Next, you're going to play 1 Legendary Mazu Garzet and 1 Caesius the Mega Monarch. These 2 are just kind of 2 tributed monsters that are really good that you can throw in there. Legendary Mazu Garzet, basically you tribute as many cards as you need. He gains attack equal to all the monsters you tributed. That can get really, really big. Next one, Caesius the Mega Monarch. You can tribute summon this card by tributing one tribute summoned monster. If this card is tribute summoned, target 1 card on the field, banish it. If you do, inflict 1,000 damage to your opponent. Then, if it is a dark monster card, banish all cards with that name from the main deck, extra deck, and graveyard. So basically, Lair of Darkness already makes everything dark. So you tribute one of your opponent's monsters. Your opponent cannot use that monster. Everything in his main deck with that name, it's gone. So you're playing against, let's see, something that really needs a certain card, or you're playing against Dino Smashers. You send a Soul Eating Overraptor. They just lost their Searcher. That's just amazing card, and I wish I drew into it more. I only play 1 of it because otherwise they just get really cloggy and it doesn't work. Next, 1 Tour Guide from the Underworld. This is just for a little bit more consistency. This does search out Lilith, Lady of Lammet. When this card is normal summon, special summon one level 3 fiend monster from your hand or a deck, but it has an effect negated. Also, it cannot be used as synchro material. It's just something so you can get cards out on the field if you completely bricked. It's nothing special because it negates the effects. It's more tribute fodder as well. That's why I play that. So on to the spells. Of course, the absolute staple of this deck, 3 Lair of Darkness. This card is amazing. All face-up monsters on the field become dark. Already working with Caius. Once per turn, if you attribute a monster you control to activate a card effect, you contribute 1 dark monster your opponent controls. So, you tribute 1 monster, you get to tribute 1 of their monsters. Boom. That's just, it's amazing. You can tribute 1 dark one. Yeah, even though you do not control it. Once per turn, during the end phase, special summon as many torment tokens as possible to the turn player's field. So basically, if you tributed on your opponent's turn, it goes on your opponent's turn. If you tributed on your turn, they go on your side of the field. That's what that means. Yeah, amazing card. It lets you just get rid of your opponent's stuff. It's amazing for getting other things out, for turning all the monsters dark. It is the absolute staple of this deck. It's literally the name of the structure deck. Like, come on now. Next, 3 Allure of Darkness. This is just any dark monster based deck is gonna play Allure of Darkness. Discard 1 dark monster from your hand, and then you draw 2 cards. If you don't have a dark monster in your hand, and send your entire hand to the graveyard. Really good. It's a nice way to get Stygian in the graveyard. It's a nice way to get your boss monster in the graveyard if you want him there. Just really good. Hand destruction, sending more stuff to the graveyard. It's just you want those things in the graveyard. Stygian, get it in the graveyard. Boss monster, get it in the graveyard, just so you can use them properly. Reoccurring Nightmare. Contribute 2 dark monsters with 0 defense target 2 boss monsters with 0 defense in your graveyard. Add those targets to your hand. Just let me run through all these monsters that have 0 defense. Let's see. Your legendary Maju Garzet has 0 defense. Your Lilith Lady of Lamet has 0 defense. Your Searcher has 0 defense. So basically, you get back your Trap Searcher and your Monster Spell Searcher off this card. It's just a nice one to have. Also, 1 Fires of Doomsday. Special summon 2 Doomsday tokens to your side of the field into face-up defense position. You don't need the Doomsday tokens. You can just use the Torment tokens. It really doesn't matter. This is just so you have something on the field, and it's more tribute fodder. So, yeah. That is all of the spells. Traps. Viruses galore, but not yet. 3 Mind Crush. Declare 1 card name. If that card is in your opponent's hand, they must discard all copies of it. Otherwise, you discard 1 random card. This card is a win-win. If you do not want your opponent to play 1 certain card, say you're playing against Blue Eyes, you don't want him to get, Maiden with the Eyes of Blue. You say Maiden with the Eyes of Blue, he discards it from his hand. He can't do anything with it now. And even if you're wrong and he does not have it in his hand, well, you just send 1 card to the graveyard. You send your boss monster. You send Stygian. They want to be in the graveyard. It's a ++ for this deck. It's an amazing card, even just in the meta right now. Comboing with it, Full Force Virus. Tribute 1 dark monster with 2,000 or more defense. Look at your opponent's hand. All of the monsters they control and all cards they draw until the end of their 3rd turn after this card's activation, and destroy all those monsters with 1,500 or less defense. So basically, this is getting all of their high defense monsters out of their hand. You do have to get something with 2,000 defense or more, which is a little steep, but you can always just tribute 1 of your opponents. Your boss monster has 2,000 defense. He can't really be tributed, though. So it's kind of a difficult card to get off. If you do get it off, though, combos so well with Mind Crush, because you see your opponent's hand, and then you Mind Crush your opponent's hand. It's amazing. Next, you're going to play the Virus Trio. Basically gets rid of powerful monsters in your opponent's deck, gets rid of spell traps, and this one just kind of gets rid of monsters in general. It's weird but good. So yeah, you just play that trio. You play 2 of the other virus, and then you play 3 Mind Crush. Extra deck, you literally just play 3 Torment tokens to go along with your Lair of Darkness's effect. So yes, that is the deck profile for today. The Lair of Darkness structure deck. I really like these. I think I will do more of them. I have been putting one out like every so often. Let me know which one you want me to do next. I will probably do ABCs soon. I can't think of any other ones that I can do right off the bat. I can get a few for you guys. Let me know if you guys would like me to open up the Legendary Hero decks. I was planning on getting them. I have not gotten them yet. And then I could open them up on camera. Be a cool unboxing. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the video. Go check out Dr. Schlager on YouTube for some gaming stuff. I haven't posted in 6 months, but hey, why not subscribe? Because you know you're over there. You spend all the time and effort clicking off the video, going over the channel. Always remember to subscribe, like the video here too. Comment down in the comments what you guys would have rather played over some of the stuff I played, or if you just straight wouldn't have played some of the stuff I played. Also tell me what you guys think of tribute decks. I'm really not a big tribute deck person. I like combo-centric special summon heavy decks. It's just kind of the way I play. That's why I like Dino Smashers so much. So yeah. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.